Hi, I'm DJ Ware. On this episode of the Cyber Gizmo, I'm going to be looking at FreeBSD. This is version 14.0, which came out on November the 20th. Let's dive in and take a look at it and see, what it's all about. So the first thing is FreeBSD has been around a long time. In fact, this is their 30th anniversary. Happy birthday, FreeBSD. They were founded way back in November of 1993. And so, 14 was released in the same month as when they started. It's pretty close, I think, to almost the same day. So it is based loosely on Research Unix from Bell Labs. However, there's no code in it from Bell Labs. I say loosely because it has similar commands, similar structure, but it does not use, and I'll emphasize that, it does not use any of the Unix code in it. So what is it good for? What can you use FreeBSD for? It's a general purpose platform, so you can build a server, you can build workstations, you can build embedded systems with it. It runs on Raspberry Pis and other ARM boxes. They say it runs on RISC-V, but I haven't seen anybody actually try to run it. Maybe maybe some of you are running it. So you'll also find it in network firewalls. pfSense uses it as their operating system of choice for their firewall. It's also used by TrueNAS, the BSD version of it. It's used for storage servers, and that's one of them that uses it. So and of course that's based on ZFS or the ZFS file system. But what is it? Is it open source? Is it closed source? What is it? It is open. It is not only open source, it is free and open source. It is based on the Berkeley license or the FreeBSD license. That makes it similar to Linux, but it's not Linux. If you look at Linux, the way Linux is structured, Linux itself, the name, if you're a purist, Linux itself is just the kernel, and that is what's released by the Linux Foundation. As for the other packages and utilities and compilers and all that stuff, originally GNU provided most of those. That's not true anymore. There are a lot of independent package maintainers. Other distributions like Debian and Ubuntu and Red Hat and even the Fedora team, there's Arch, all contribute packages to the baseline. And those get built in at some point. By the way, some of those packages get shared back with FreeBSD as well. The other part about FreeBSD that's totally different is that it's all contained. When you're downloading the distribution, you're downloading everything that is in that release. They release everything. They control everything.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
They control the kernel, the drivers, the userland utilities, the documentation. FreeBSD also, the license is permissive. That is, Linux is restricted. So it means that if I want to look at the source code, I'm free to do that. If I want to modify the source code under Linux, under the GNU license, there are other licenses as well, but under the GNU license, I am held and accountable for any changes I make. That is, I have to give them back to the community and include them if they want to pick them up and support them. That's up to them, but you are required to put it back. In the FreeBSD world, you're not. So what's new in this release? Let's talk about it for a while instead of past history. So there's always security flaws that they are working on FreeBSD, like other distributions, are wide open about it. If there are vulnerabilities that are found in packages or in the kernel or in utilities, they are upfront. They publish it. OpenSSH and OpenSSL, both of those have received vulnerability updates as well as feature updates. So yeah, they're always constantly improving those and also batting away security issues. Beehive, or if you prefer, Behave, supports TPM and now GPU pass-through. So they are continuing to enhance that, and of course that is their virtual manager platform for FreeBSD. The kernel now supports up to 1,024 cores. And I don't know if you're watching, but AMD has, if you put a 4-core top high end EPYC platform together, you could easily hit that 1024 core number very easily. And so they built in support for it for both the AMD 64 and the ARM platform. The RISC platforms there's one particular, I think it's Ventana. They are working on a 384 core solution. So it won't take long to hit that again. So yeah, the core counts just keep going up and up and up, and probably will continue. ZFS has been updated to 2.2. There's some pretty good features that have been added to that, as well as there's been some bug fixes and some improvements for the performance. They've also added ability to scrub the error logs now, so that's kind of nice. If you want more details, you can go and look at the release notes for the release, and they'll tell you all about it. The default TCP/IP congestion control is now cubic, which is, I think, a great thing. That's a good thing. As far as requirements, what kind of hardware do you need to run this on? So if you're running a server, it's going to be pretty minimal, and you'll see today what those are. But you need a 64-bit Intel or AMD processor, or you can also run it on an i386 32-bit. But I will tell you, they have plans to remove 32-bit support. I think I saw it was in the 15.0, so it's probably a couple of years away. Now, FreeBSD says they will continue 32-bit support for ARM, the V7 CPUs, because there's a number of them that are still out there. And so they will continue to support 32-bit on that platform. PowerPC, PowerPC 64, and PowerPC 64 LE is supported. RISC-V 64 is supported, although, to be honest, I don't know what platforms those might be. I need to do some more reading on that because I'm just not sure. It isn't mine, I can tell you that. It isn't the one I have. FreeBSD, as far as the desktop environments, there hasn't been, a drastic change here. There are some patches they put in since 13.2. GNOME is 42.5. And I think the previous version was 42.3. Yeah, I think that's right. KDE is 2308.1. XFCE, a minor patch, 418.4. OpenBox 3.6.9, and Fluxbox is the same version as it was, 1.3.7/5. FreeBSD can run most software that runs on Linux. It is a compatibility layer. It is not an emulator. But it implements trusted BSD. Those have their origins way back in Solaris. It implements virtualization through Beehive. You won't find things like VMware or Proxmox running on top of FreeBSD. But they fully support OpenZFS natively. Used to be all of the source code was written first for FreeBSD, and then it was ported over to Mac OS. There is a Mac OS version of ZFS, and then it was ported over to Linux. But they have unified that source code so that, I think it was at 2.0, they unified it all. And so I don't know if Mac is completely done or not. It might be. It might be finally. When you moved your ZFS pools from one platform to another, there was a good chance it would still work. They were the first to implement mandatory access controls. They also support access control lists. They have a similar thing to SE Linux, except they use the original NSA Flash TE. They also use Sun's basic security module. That's been moved to the open source. It's known as Open BSM. Let's go back and talk about this Linux compatibility layer. So it allows Linux binaries to run. It's not an emulation. It supports execution of BSD OS and System 5, Release 4 as well. The kernel is monolithic. It supports threads via the libthr model. It has an event queue called KQ, which allows it to scale up your notifications based on the load that's on the machine. KQ is very good, by the way. I wish Linux had it. It doesn't, but hey, there we go. One of the things I forgot to mention is there is UEFI support in version 14. It works fine on the laptop. Again, it came up, but that laptop is configured to actually use secure boot. So yeah, it installed, it's fine. Proxmox, it stalls. It tries to launch. You can see it hitting the disk and then it just stops. I tried a number of things to try to mess around with it. It could be a configuration problem. Proxmox has added in the latest release that I'm running, they've added support for secure boot now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to install this. So I press 1. Or you can let it time out and it'll go in. So we'll do an install. The others are, if you want to run this live, you can do that. Or jump down to the shell if you want to install a driver or something. Key map looks good. Let's call this base system. Looks good. Yeah, ZFS is fine. And it's saying you're going to have a striped disk because you've only got one. We'll select that. We'll say yes, we're sure. Go ahead and overwrite this drive. There's nothing on it, so that's good. This won't take very long. This is pretty fast to do the install. Much faster than Linux anyway. And virtual networking adapter. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Yes. Go to DHCP lease. No. And then we'll confirm. That looks good. Go down to America. Scroll to the bottom. Find the US. We'll take Central. And then this is a little bit different. It looks a little bit more modern. And then if there's some other things you want to install, you can do that. If you want to, these are hardening options. So if you want to turn those on, you can. I don't need those for today. Yeah, let's go ahead. And it's saying, do you want to add users? And yes, we do. If I want to have another group, I can add it here. We'll want wheel because we'll want to install sudo or something like that. Yeah, that's fine. The Bourne shell. Yep. I'm saying no to the rest of these. Lock out the account? No. That would be used in corporate environments where we're onboarding employees and you wanted to lock their account out until they showed up for work. So yeah, we're done. So we're confirming. No, I don't need another user. At this point, I can go back and add another user, change the root password. You can basically back up is what you can do. Or you can install the handbook if you want it. I'm just going to say, no, that's good. We'll exit the install. If you wanted to, you could drop into the shell here, install whatever drivers you need, but no, we don't need to do that. So we'll just go ahead and reboot it. Now this is going to be just the shell. So this would be a server, not a desktop because we don't, not a workstation because we don't have a desktop. But I'll go ahead. Oops, I don't want to do that. Yeah, won't be able to do a heck of a lot because I don't have root. Yeah, if I try sudo, as you can see, it's not found. So the first thing we want to do is a package update just to make sure that we have everything. And it's going to download metadata down to the system here so that I'll have that available for any packages that I want to install. And I don't think we have any, but yeah, we're up to date. Now, before we do anything, let's just see how much the base system is taking. So it's 964 meg, about a gig. And we'll also look at, I think top is out here. I don't think HTOP is. But we have, looks like 16 meg active, which not a lot. 69 meg reserved, 431 meg wired, and 7 gig free. So let's go ahead and see. And I want HTOP, and I'm going to want get, and I'm also going to want NeoFetch, and I'm going to want Pi 39. Oops. And I think that's what that's to get glances. Okay, let's do pip. Let's get glances down. All right, let's take a look and see what we have now as far as memory is concerned. It has 18 tasks running. Memory is about 893 meg. Still pretty good. That includes the caches as well. Glances should be out here now. And that's showing 1.32 gig used. Of course, that includes any application caches and so forth. How much did we gain on the disk used? 1.2 gig. Yeah, 1.2 gig right there. So yeah, not a lot. And yep, we are definitely on the release 14 kernel. Now I can scroll back. Okay. Let's see what we got. Well, we got a 61. I'm just looking through the warnings here. It's a little bit better than the last time I ran it. But yeah, I mean, it works. It's just, yeah, you gotta, they should be laying on top of each other and they're not. Oh, now they are, kind of. Now they're going to split apart again. That looks like an acceleration problem, doesn't it? Like the tracking is way off. I'm going to try and see if I turn on, wait for it to come down. I'm going to see if I turn on Spice, if that helps. Well, okay, maybe. Yeah. That's a little better. I still can't get out of the window. Control Alt R. Yeah, it's not letting me out. Oh, that's easy to fix. I'm missing some fonts. Let's see what fonts I do have here. Obviously not monospace. Let's try, that one should work. Oh yeah, that's better. And then we'll need to get rid of the, okay, wait, let's see. If I go here and I go into settings, I can set it, but it's not changing this. Yeah, I do have tweaks. All right. Yeah, we know. All right, so appearance, dark. Yes, that worked. Well, we can get there. We just have to, we have to go set everything manually. So yeah, okay, that's good to know. Spice works, but except for I can't get out. I can get out if I shut down this, I can get out. Let go. I probably need to check and see what the config has in it for the, what is Control-Alt-R mapped to, because obviously something is chewing on it before I get it. And with that, hope to see you all again real soon. Bye for now.